Hello. I've got something really weird to show you, and it is this. It is the Pyle receiver model PDA-6BU. It was $60 on Amazon. I bought it because I liked how small it was. It's a very compact unit. It's got a bunch of really nice features like SD card support, Bluetooth support. It's got line out for recording onto a tape deck, which I needed. And it's got a few other interesting things like microphone inputs and echo for like karaoke. It's pretty interesting. Pretty cool. So I'll just turn it on and show you how it works. So it lights up really bright. You can see the lights basically blind your ass. So, yeah, when you first turn it on, you see no disc on the LCD there. And I'll get to that in a bit. But, yeah, it's got your basic functions bass, treble, echo, which isn't really a basic function in a receiver, but it's in this one. So, yep. And got your knobs for changing tracks when you're using an SD card, which is pretty cool. And as you could tell by that there, it actually comes with a remote. So, yeah, being that this is a $60 receiver, it is a bit quirky. And I've grown to learn about it and its random quirkles and queakles and yeah, it's basically something. So I'll just show you the radio. Since I'm filming this on my phone, I can't really demonstrate YouTube or Bluetooth. so to get to the radio, it's a little weird, but you have to hit this mode button to change it from no disc. That's Bluetooth mode. It has Bluetooth as well. And then here's radio. And there you go. So yeah, it works basically as you'd expect. You can change the channels with the knob right over there. And yeah. And as you notice here on the left, the channels are actually the stations are all identified as channels, which is interesting. So it like scans for the available channels, or it scans for the available stations that it could pick up, and then it assigns them as channels on the left. So that's channel 13, channel 14, 15, and so on. Pretty efficient, I would say, but I've never seen a radio do that, so it's kind of weird. Now, get a load of this. Here's where the weirdness comes in. So this is your input selector. If you know what a receiver is, you know that every receiver has this. So if I were to turn this onto DVD, for instance, of course that changes it to the DVD input. But if you look at the screen, it doesn't change. It is still on the radio. So what's going on here is there's a DAC in here, and that handles the Bluetooth and the radio and the SD card features. But the DAC has no idea that the other three inputs exist. So on the right there, you have an input called MP3BT, but you also have DVD, CD, and aux. The DAC only uses MP3BT, but not any of those other inputs. So it's like a separate digital device in there that just has no idea it's in a receiver. So, and then on top of that, the remote is paired up with the DAC device that's in the receiver and nothing else. So this remote will actually not work with any of the other inputs of this receiver. You also cannot use the remote to control things like treble and balance. And another really weird thing about it is if you press the power button on the remote, it turns the screen off. It says power off, but the LCD stays lit and everything else stays lit. So to really actually power it off, you have to press this button and the whole thing shuts down. But right now, the receiver is actually still on. Only the DAC portion of it is off. So like if I press the power button, the whole thing goes off now. Now it's actually off. If I press the power button again, everything turns back on, including the DAC part of it. So, yeah. Another weird thing about it is if I turn it back over to radio mode, there's Bluetooth, and of course you could use your phone with it. And here's the radio. So if I turn it back over to radio mode, you could use the remote to raise and lower the volume. So if I do that, you can see the volume changing on the screen. But the volume knob itself stays in the same spot. So I could lower this all the way to 0. And then watch this. I'm raising the volume now, and there's no volume because I changed the volume on the DAC part of it, not the actual amplifier. So it's a very strange device that Pyle came up with here. Very unique unit. It's almost like 3 different devices that were slapped together into one giant box. Or in this case, I would really say it's a small box. But yeah, very interesting device. So I don't have an SD card or a USB flash drive, so I can't really demonstrate the other features. I don't have microphones either. So, but it seems like you would be able to use this for karaoke. So, yeah, but you can imagine my confusion because when I had this set to aux to hook my 8-track player up to it, I was I sent the player out to get it fixed, but while it was out getting fixed, I was trying to figure out this receiver a bit more, and I was trying to use the radio. But of course, you can imagine my confusion when the radio was on, but there was no sound because I had it on the wrong input over here. So if you run into that situation, be mindful that your receiver may actually be fine. You just have it on the wrong input. But the DAC doesn't know that this is a receiver. It just is working on its own, but it's inside the receiver. So, yep. So yeah, that's pretty much the receiver. It's a very strange device. It's an unusual specimen in the world of audio video equipment. Of course, it's got your basic receiver like features. It's got an aux input. Uh, it's got your DVD input, your CD input. No phono input. So you would have to get a separate amplifier for your record player. But it'll hook up to a tape deck. It's got an line out for tape recording. So you could use it that way, which I'm going to myself. But yeah, it's a pretty good unit. You know, it's $60. So far, it's been pretty good. And I read comments on Amazon about it bursting into flames, but those were the 1-star reviews. Most of the reviews were 4 or 5 stars, so you know, you get what you pay for, but you know. So yeah. Anyway, hoped you enjoyed this, and I'll see you later.